Right. Morning, everyone. Sorry about the late start. Let's kick it off. All right. Sorry for the lack of charts on the presentation this morning. Bear with us. We have U.S. markets last night that were, down a touch for the most part. I mean, the S&P was more or less flat, and the Dow Jones down 0.2%. A bit of a non-event, really, especially after the Chinese data over the weekend. Couldn't really get the U.S. market to pull back. Europe was soft at one point. The U.S. market looked like it was gonna correct at one point as well, but just it's a bull market, baby. It just seems to hang on and outperform expectations at all costs. We continue to also have the Ukrainian and the Russia situation that's going on. I mean, there's a lot of things out there that could really take us down, and it just kind of holds on regardless at the moment. Asian markets were up only slightly though this morning on the back of the failure of the U.S. markets obviously to get down. Really, very little going on there, and markets were mostly flat. We had some of the markets, that especially Hang Seng in China, that had pushed higher this morning by about 0.75%, and they're finishing flat. So not a great finish out of Asia this morning, but kind of a non-event nonetheless. The corporate action out today, we're expecting the JSE out sometime today. We're looking for full year 2013 numbers. Guidance on the most recent trading statement was for 6 Rand 43 on headline earnings per share. To keep that in mind, divvy at 350 we're looking for. So I'm not sure what time that's coming out today, but keep your eyes peeled for that announcement. Overnight we had Japanese money stock numbers that were a bit soft. Also machine tool orders a touch soft relative to prior, and then the interest rate decision, which came out in line. So kind of a non-event in terms of that. We also have the trade balance numbers coming out of Germany. Later we've got GDP out of Italy. We've got industrial production and manufacturing production in the UK. Locally we've got business confidence at 12, and then we got wholesale inventories in the States. So it's actually a very light day for data in terms of something that's going to actually move markets. So we're going to continue to watch trade action, let trade action be king, and go from there. All right. Let's jump into the maps. First thing that we're going to have a look at, I'll actually leave this chart up, and I know it's really hard to see. Let me see if I can get this on a line chart real quick. You know how to do that? You know how to get a line chart here, rather. Let me just try something here. Uh-oh. That doesn't look good. Is this it? Okay. I'm just going to actually... Okay, sorry, I'm going to re-log in there because I just destroyed my charts. Bottom line, what I was trying to show is... after it pops back up. Yeah, what I was trying to show is the iron ore price, which you can see it's spotty here, so you see it, but I was going to try to make it on a line chart, and I haven't done that so long I don't actually remember how to do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, let's go back 5 years here, on iron ore, and you can see that the lowest price in iron ore is down here at $110. Now remember, this is a contract price. This is not, this is agreed upon a price that's set every so often. This is not a tradable price, that's moving minute by minute on a day like the rest of the world. And you can see there, we're all the way back to a 10-year chart, and you can see the low at $110. No, it's not even going all the way back 10 years. Sorry, I'm lying to you. It's not giving me data further back than that. But bottom line is we're looking for a low, multi-year low of $110. I think it's been about 5 years or so, 4 or 5 years since we've been below 110. And we were down this morning at 112. You can see right there that little dot. For us to break down here from 110 would obviously be significant. And like we said, we've been talking about this over and over and over here. The Chinese story continues to weigh on this. You saw the bloodletting in the copper price the last two sessions. I wouldn't be surprised to see this all continue. There's definitely serious fears there. And real risk aversion. You're seeing it in shares like Kumba and those types. Okay, this morning, let's also have a look at the U.S., the euro dollar. And the euro dollar really made a breakout a couple sessions ago from just above a 138 level. And the reason why I wanted to just show this and point this out this morning is simply because this has been a brilliant barometer in terms of risk as well. We'd been talking about the Japanese yen. I do think that these currency trades are starting to be leading indicators again, which is great because it gives us something to it's a bit of a tell for us as to where the market's going to go. We're going to want to watch this closely. If we drop 138, and we're not really in danger of doing that at the exact moment, but if we drop 138, I think that's going to be a significant level, and that could be screaming risk off to us if that happens. So the same sort of thing as the Japanese yen. Just reading through some of the positioning on currency futures worldwide, and there's a lot of longs out on the euro at the moment. There's a lot of shorts out on the yen. So if these things start to reverse, that guys are starting to move risk off, and it'll be a great barometer of risk for us going forward. So keep that in mind. 138 level, you see the euro dropping that, especially dropping it and pushing away from it, will be very significant. Okay, we're going to go over a couple that we went over yesterday. One being Anglo. You can see down here, it's a totally gapped down, so just don't miss this little red bar where we closed yesterday. Really the level we were looking for yesterday, 257. If we drop that, we were saying it's definitely dropping some sort of support. You can see there we closed at 255.60. So we did drop that support level. Unless we can kind of get back above this and hold this, I think this is definitely bearish. We'll probably be looking for the next level of support somewhere down here, which is down around 225 and Anglos. And remember, the two biggest revenue generators, if I'm not mistaken, are iron ore and copper, which have both taken, I would say, 10% literally in the last week. So that's very important. Staying on that theme, we're going to look at Kumba, which yesterday managed to hold multi-year lows at 385 exactly. Came down, you can see there on the wick, it touched more or less the exact lows. I'll back it out a little bit for 2 years so you can see it a little bit better. So obviously we definitely are pushing down on the lows here. The share has been screaming at us that the iron ore price is coming down, that there are problems in China. If we drop 385, I mean this could definitely be the Acapulco cliff dive, and we could really wipe out. And I wouldn't be surprised to see us wipe out all the way to 300 Rand if we drop 385. Because we'd be really coming from this little consolidation and up here, and this move that just happened from as high as 465, dropping 385. That puts us with a target price $80 lower. It's going to take us to 305. So it could get ugly there if we drop 385. Watch that level closely over the next few sessions. All right, Anglo Gold. Let's jump in. Let's go to a year on this. Anglo Gold yesterday. This freaking thing will not come down. You can probably tell that I'm short of it. It had failed a couple times at 200. Looked like it was getting ready to really make a breakdown here out of the bottom side of this pattern, and just really couldn't held on to everything there. And you can see after a couple tests up at 200, we managed to pop through on a closing basis yesterday. Although last night didn't trade well in the States, and one of the lighter volume days we've seen in the States in a long time. So, maybe some of that buying out of the States, where I think was driving demand, is kind of over now. So we'll have to see how it plays out today. If we can't push away from 200 Rand, then maybe it's not so bad. It's not necessary to be so scared of a short here, but just watch this one closely. I mean, the target on this on the breakout to the upside probably up around 250, 220 Rand. And if we look out a little bit further, you can see, you know, there's only real resistance up here. I think when we took the initial target, we ran, let me just get this straightened out for you here. We broke out, I believe, at 160, yeah, a little over 160, 164, call it, and we came from about 117. So that put us a target price of close to 220. So we may be making this move right now in the on this breakout above 200. All right, and then the last one I'm going to show is Truworths. Truworths really, I know I paid a divvy out yesterday, but you know, that's a bear flag. However you look at it, I know that it was a divvy, so it's, you know, maybe not as you know, easy to kind of look at this chart and say, okay, well, beautiful setup. But bottom line is, it's a perfect bear flag. We kind of came up here, basically tested our breakdown level around 73 bucks, failed it. Dropped on the divvy yesterday, and wouldn't be surprised to see this thing come back and test the lows around 65 bucks, possibly even lower. And that's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot.